Welcome to another episode of Rainbow Popcorn. We are 2 out of 3 brothers reviewing movies through a rainbow lens. Hello, Brett.
Hello, Lee.
How are you?
I am very good. How are you?
Good. I'm very good. I'm very excited that we've got another guest
We do have another guest
this week. But before we get into that, I do need a drink.
I'm excited we have another drink as well.
Yeah. No, I don't. It's not like I do need a drink because I have to talk to someone, but
No.
I do need a drink. Oh, sorry.
You just
Begun.
Well, I'll just open it.
This is a Bilson's Portello.
Bilson's
Be
Portello.
careful because it's purple and it will stain.
Oh, great.
And I'm wearing light coloured pants.
Great.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh,
Oh,
that is good.
I love a Portello.
I've known a Portello for a very long time.
It's a fancy. It feels like a fancy cordial to me.
I still don't fully understand what Portello is, but
Does it say? I don't know. If it's-
Portello, creamy soda, and sarsaparilla are all the same thing to me.
but they're all very different. But they all aren't a flavour.
But I expect the same when I drink any of them. I expect it to taste the same. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I could buy some Bilson's cordial Portello.
and then it's just an alcoholic.
Oh, what's the point?
Yeah.
All right. Our guest this month is Saara Lamberg. Saara Lamberg is a Melbourne-based filmmaker. They have written, directed, and starred in a number of films of their own creation, both feature-length and short films. We joined Saara recently at their Winter Warmers Film Festival at the Henkel Street Cinema, and today they're joining us to talk all things movies. Hello, Saara. Welcome to Rainbow Popcorn.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm very excited to be here. Thanks, Brett and Lee, for having me. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, of course. You're now a member of the Rainbow Popcorn Movie Club,
There you go.
which
You're
is
our
growing,
second member.
growing all the time. Well, fourth member.
Of course, if you include us.
We're the first
Okay,
two.
great.
So, yeah, we joined you at your Winter Warmers Film Festival, and part of the Winter Warmers Film Festival was some mulled wine. Is that what you're drinking with us this evening?
Well, I do have my Winter Warmers Film Festival cup there.
Oh, beautiful.
And tonight I am joining you with some very beautiful mulled cranberry juice.
I think there was mulled wine, and was it mulled juice at the festival as well?
There was.
Yeah.
I actually don't drink alcohol, so there we go.
Oh, well, I think you fooled us because you drank so much of it in the movie of yours that we watched.
Yeah,
Your
I can act well.
Yeah.
being drunk.
Well, cheers anyway to the
Cheers.
cranberry juice.
Cheers.
Welcome.
That's
So,
delicious.
first, very broad question. What is it that you love about film?
That is a great question. What do I love about film?
Very deep just to start off with.
I love all arts, and I think film for me just combines so many different art forms that I love. I love telling stories. I love visual storytelling. I love music. I love good acting. It's just film for me is a great way to bring so many different art forms together, and different to say theater, where I feel like there's always a little bit of like distance, like the audience is here and then the theater happens, like the play happens like 20 meters away from you, whereas film, because you have those close-ups, it feels like it's so close up and that you get really intimate you get such intimate stories told with the media of film. That's how I chose it. I have done theater in the past as well, and I still do it sometimes, but it just feels, I guess also because I'm a bit of an introvert. So and as I was growing up, all the theater kids were really extroverted, and I felt like my personality just didn't have room within that theater setting.
I feel like podcasting's a little bit like that. Like, I'm a bit of an introvert, but I'm happy to talk. But if you ask me to do this in front of, 500 to 1,000 people, I would not quite be the same. Certainly on the inside, like the butterflies.
Yeah.
Pretty intense. And I think Yeah, film has that interesting thing of you can be, as an audience member, so connected to what's on the screen, but I guess as a filmmaker, there's that little bit of distance between you and the audience. You get to make what you want to make and then put it out there without, I guess, that live interaction and the on the spot part of the theater.
Yes, so you absolutely can, but I myself, I like being there with the audience because I feel like I can learn something, even if I have to rewatch my own film several times over and over and over again. I think it's a wonderful resource just to see how different audiences react to the work, because it's always a little bit different depending on who's in the room. And I love the Q&A after the film. So yeah, I do tend to be there every time the film is screening somewhere.
I think that was what was good about when we went and watched your film. It was the Westermark Effect, wasn't it?
Yes.
That we saw.
Yes.
And I think the thing about that one is it is quite a deep story with a lot of themes and stuff. And the ending kind of leaves a bit open to the audience's interpretation. So I think that's what's good. After the Q&A, you get people that clearly might have thought it ended a different way. So I think, is that something it sounds like you enjoy as well?
Oh yeah, I love it. And personally, I much prefer seeing films in the cinema with other people rather than just by myself at home. There was a study done a couple of years ago where so when we're sitting in the cinema watching films with other people, somehow our pheromones talk to each other. So it actually then enhances the experience of how everyone experiences the film. So I think that's fascinating, and that definitely gives you another reason just to go and watch films with other people rather than just by yourself. Yeah,
it'd be interesting.
So
we reviewed Rocky Horror three weeks ago, and we talked about how they still do the screenings, and they're the very interactive screenings, and we hadn't been to one. So that would be interesting. And I think that audience interaction is a thing, and I love seeing a movie in a full cinema.
Yep.
When I can, even if the people in the
are annoying
cinema
and
and the general public can be annoying, but it does make a difference to the whole experience. I distinctly remember I saw Shrek 2 in a full cinema, sold out cinema, which you wouldn't think. Like, I've seen a midnight screening of the premiere of Star Wars and stuff like that. Like, you think they're going to be sellouts, but this was Werribee Cinemas, a sold out screening of Shrek 2, and it was great.
Well, I think it was
it's a good movie, but seeing it with 200 whatever people who were there for the same reason to enjoy the same thing, it's such a different experience.
I think it's the same like when we went and saw Barbie.
Yeah,
it was a full cinema.
Yeah,
and you get the same. I think because of the type of movie it is as well, you're getting the same people of a certain age with a certain mindset
and a certain gender.
Yeah, that are watching it. So I think, and then you watch it again at home and you're like, it's not as good as I remember. But maybe it is that. Maybe it's the pheromones talking.
Yeah. And did you do the Barbenheimer experience, or
we did? Not on the same day.
Yeah, not back.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, but we did do it in that order. We went Barbie and Oppenheimer. And I did it again. I put it done it the other way around.
I did the same day, but luckily Oppenheimer first. Luckily.
I think if I did it in the same day, I probably would have fallen asleep during.
Particularly,
I did.
If we'd finished with Oppenheimer in the same day, it would have been a heavy end to a long day.
Yep.
I had my naps during Oppenheimer, and then I thoroughly enjoyed Barbie.
Good plan. So we probably have covered the answer to, I guess, one of our other, what will become standard questions. What actually got you into making film? Like, we talked about what you love about film and the visual medium, but what were those kind of, I guess, steps that led you to becoming a filmmaker?
Yeah, so I was an actor for many, many years before I started writing and directing. And in many ways, I was a frustrated actor, but it's not quite true because I was getting lots of roles and I was getting lots of different kinds of roles. I guess I was lucky in that I got comedic roles, I got really deep psychological roles. But even then, I was still hungry. I still wanted to create my own work. So that's why I started writing and directing. And before I did acting sort of full time, I also did some journalism, and so I had lots of kind of behind the camera skills. I had studied, even documentary making, filmmaking from behind the camera. So I had skills, luckily, that I was able to use then when I wanted to take that steps from being an actor to being a filmmaker, because without, I guess, more technical skills, it can be a really hard thing to do.
It would have been a big learning curve already, moving from in front to behind the camera. I guess if you're adding all of the technical learning on top of that, it would have been pretty daunting.
Yeah, I guess I was lucky that I started this whole journey really early. Like I was 7 when I started acting, and I think I was 14 when I was an assistant director in a feature film.
Yeah, right.
So I was just lucky to be able to get engaged quite early on, and was always just really hungry to do art. Like art for me is just, it's everything. It's kind of my life. I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't doing art.
Yeah, great.
And having started more like as an actor, is there a particular actor that you would say is your favorite, or that you kind of align with and kind of aspire to be like?
There's so many great actors out there. I feel like that's a very, very difficult question. Let's go with the lead of Boys Don't Cry, Hilary Swan. I think, they would be maybe my favorite if I had to pick one, but it's an impossible question.
Yeah. It's harsh of me to ask.
It's that's a good choice.
Yeah, because
She's a phenomenal actress.
She is very like selective with what she does. It seems like she doesn't do heaps of movies.
Yeah, it's not like one or two movies a year. She just keeps going and going. Is there anyone? So in terms of that, like that's aspirationally, I guess, actor-wise, is there anyone that you really love to watch on the screen?
That's like again, so many different actors. Yeah, that's an even harder question to ask, I think.
Well, what about a favorite? What about a favorite movie? I don't know if that's going to be.
Yeah, no, that's easier actually.
Okay, there you go.
That's much easier.
Yeah.
I get asked this question so often in interviews that I decided on a film that I'm going to say every time in this question, and then every few years I rewatch it just to make sure that I can still answer with the same. So my favorite film is Happiness by Todd Solondz.
Okay.
An absolute gem of dark comedy, just a beautiful dysfunctional family. It hits all the right notes of comedy for me. It's very dark, it's very relatable, it's very realistic and gritty, and it's just beautiful storytelling and that deadpan kind of acting that I love seeing, and quirky.
That sounds good.
I don't know it.
Check that one out.
But it does sound good.
You haven't seen it?
No.
No, I don't.
Oh no, you're up for a gem. You're up for a treat.
We'll have to watch that one.
All right. We're going to get in trouble. The more we interview people, last month when we interviewed Cortex, they gave us about 10 films to watch. Every time we chat to Cortex at Pride, they give us another 5 films to add to the list.
The list is growing.
And we're lucky. We've already watched Boys Don't Cry. So you haven't added that one to the list for us. We've ticked the Hilary Swank box there. But Happiness we will add, because I do like a dark comedy. And I quite like I'm definitely in my comedic tastes on the drier end of the comedy scale.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily out there for watching actors trying to get laughs.
Yeah, I'm the same. I can't stand the kind of I don't know, what do you call it, spaghetti comedy or whatever the phrase is. Yeah.
I would not recommend watching Happy Gilmore 2.
I don't even want to watch Happy Gilmore 1. And Happy Gilmore 2 is by all reports terrible.
It's anyway.
Have you seen The Lobster by Yorgos Lanthimos?
No, but I've heard-
Oh, that needs to go on your list. That's another favorite in the dark comedies. It's almost not a comedy, but it definitely is a comedy. Yeah.
the last few movies of his I've enjoyed.
Mm.
The Favorite and Poor Things,
Yeah.
have been quite good. Very out there at certain aspects, but that same kind of humor that's really like I enjoy.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's a couple then to watch out for. In terms of your directing side of things, who would you say inspires you in that side of your filmmaking?
I'd say definitely directors like Yorgos Lanthimos, who does this very much author-based work that's very uncompromising artistically. And I guess one of the favorite films when I was growing up would have been, or one of the films that really kind of shocked me out of my core in a good way would have been Mulholland Drive by David Lynch.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Just the whole main character, but then it's different actors acting the same character, and like it was mind-blowing in so many ways.
All right, Saara. Well, enough about other people. What have you got coming up in the pipeline? What are you working on at the moment?
What do you want to plug?
Yeah, what have you got to plug?
Yeah. So given that we spoke about like being there with the audience in the cinema and all that, I have made a very interactive film that even within the film itself, there's interactive elements. But also I usually bring in different interactive elements during the screenings. So I don't think you've seen this film. It's called The Lies We Tell Ourselves. And that one will have a couple of screenings in Brunswick in September.
Okay.
This is the poster for that.
Yes, I remember seeing
it's a comedy about making films. I shot it in 7 different countries when I was traveling to film festivals. Is
that the one where she falls down the stairs in the trailer?
That's right.
Wow.
Yes. And with that particular scene, I made it to the news in New Caledonia. They loved it. It was like one of those really, pompous red carpet events where you're supposed to like look good and do your posing and all that. And I was like, oh, no, I want to do something different with this. So I fell on that carpet on purpose and I filmed it. And the news broadcast, they loved it. They soaked it up.
Great. Some free publicity.
Yeah. So if people want to come and see that, it's on Humanitics. Look for The Lies We Tell Ourselves. And the only thing, do book because it's a tiny cinema. So they tend to book quite fast.
Yeah. Is that at Henkel Street again?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I like that. That was cute.
So The Lies We Tell Ourselves from Humanitics. So that's coming up if people want to see it.
Great. And we can link to that in our episode description.
Yeah. Amazing. And what else? I'm writing new films. All my old ones can be found. SaaraLamberg.com will give you news about where they can be found. And I am in talks with an Australian distributor. So hopefully soon all the films will be out and distributed as well.
Out into the world. Fantastic.
Yeah. And just writing and going to, I decided for my birthday party this year, do a film shoot. Because I tend to do like themed birthday parties, and now it's come to a stage where people expect it. So I've done, for example, children's party for adults. So it was all like games and dress ups and things like that, but no children allowed.
Oh, good. Perfect.
So this year I was like, what can I do? And I really want to shoot a film before the end of the year. So in between Christmas and New Year's, I will attempt to shoot a film. I don't know what it is yet, but currently taking expressions of interest from people.
Okay.
Very good.
Could just be like, see what happens at a birthday party. Like a lot of birthday parties I've been to, there are plenty of stories that can be told at those.
I had one guy try to kick a moving taxi once. You can chuck that in there.
It was Brett's birthday party. He had to leave the birthday party and call an ambulance because some guy got a concussion.
Oh, no.
Story from a birthday party. You can weave that into your film.
Absolutely. Let's speak about letters.
All right, on to our topic for the month. We're
Mhm.
coming into the month of September, which is traditionally the month when Jane Austen published all her novels. It's not.
Sure.
It's not. But
Was
it
she
is
even born then or something?
in September.
Was she?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway.
What was born then was the movie Clueless,
Uh-huh.
which is based on Jane Austen's book Emma.
Mhm.
So our topic for September is going to be movies based on classic literature. Saara, do you have anything to contribute to our discussion of said classic literature films topic?
So just last night, actually, I watched My Own Private Idaho, which is based on Henry IV. I'm not the biggest Shakespeare fan, I have to say, but yeah, the film was very interesting and like all those queer themes, which would have been, I guess, quite controversial even at the time when it came out.
Yeah.
We did review that one earlier this year.
I think
Okay.
so. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
year.
I think there was another one that was a similar kind of I know when we watched it, I think at the end we were both like, what was this about?
Or what was that?
Who
Like,
was that on the this and the thing? So
where was
it's
he
one of
meant
those
to
movies
go?
that leaves you with a lot of questions.
Yeah, but one of the like best adaptations that I've seen personally is where because often there's this thing like you read a book and then you see a film and you're disappointed. Like that's what we expect to happen.
Yeah.
But in this case, I thought the film and book are equally good, and that is Perfume. So Perfume, the book by Patrick Suskind and directed by Tom, how do you say, Taikwa? Yeah, it's I don't know if you've seen it. It's quite a dark kind of thrillery film with a very, very hilarious sort of comedic ending almost.
Yeah.
So that for me really like both the book and the film deliver equally well.
I think that's such a challenge when you're adapting anything.
Yep.
And we just watched The Fly recently, which was adapted from a short story. I think short stories have a little bit more ease of adaptation because there's less that you have to get into a film. But then we also talked about before that how Peter Jackson decided to make the one book of The Hobbit into 3 movies. So he went the other way and added a whole bunch of extra stuff. It's a really fine line to walk, I think, as a filmmaker adapting something. I think that's why a lot like the anthology series or the 10-episode single series of an adaptation on the streaming service now is becoming a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're gonna it's not the only reason. They're doing a new Harry Potter series.
Well, that's money.
That's money. Yeah, but also then you can because that's one of those series that why did they not put this in the movie? Blah 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 blah. So that's I agree. I think that's why they're doing a lot more kind of limited series things on streaming.
With all of your films, Saara, were they films first? Is there anything that you wrote in another format and then rewrote, adapted yourself?
I think all of mine have been screenplays to start with, although a couple of them have been completely improvised, so they haven't even had any text to start with. Yeah, so The Lies We Tell Ourselves, for example, is fully improvised, as is more recent one, Coma. But yeah, no, I haven't done the whole from book to film. And I must say I'm not super interested in it. Like I'm not going to say no. Yeah, I might do it at some point, but it's not something that I kind of aspire to doing.
Yeah, I can imagine it's very, very challenging. And, knowing some authors and listening to some authors speak, there's a little bit of a mixed view on it. Like some authors are like, I'm just going to sign my book over. Like if Hollywood knocks, I'm going to sign my book over and they can do with it. Yeah, I'll take the little bit of money. But some are like, no, I want the producer credit. I want to be side by side with the screenwriters, and off we go.
Well, because I imagine it would be quite difficult to, as the writer, go, yeah, do what you want with my idea.
Mm.
And then vice versa, if you've got somebody else's, creation to then make it your own without, offending the person that wrote it.
And it can go either way. Like, arguably Stephen King's most famous film adaptation is The Shining. And
No, but continue.
what?
Shawshank.
I think The Shining is more famous than Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Shawshank's a better movie than The Shining, I reckon. But I think The Shining is a more famous movie than Shawshank. But don't ruin my story. Arguably, the most famous Stephen King adaptation is The Shining.
Okay.
And he hates it. Stephen King does not like the movie because it's so far from what he wrote. But then on the other end of things, he has a book, Dolores Claiborne, which also starred Kathy Bates, who was in Misery.
Yep.
And that's his favorite adaptation of any of his books. And up until probably 6 months ago, I didn't even know it was a film.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, I didn't know they'd made a film of that one, but it's the one that Stephen King loves as an adaptation of his work. Whereas on the other end, the first or second most famous of Stephen King's adaptations is the one that he hates. It's an interesting balance again, and an interesting part of the creative process, I guess.
Yeah, I guess to an extent it happens in most films if they have a separate writer and separate director. Whereas I guess my films, I'm the writer-director, so I don't have to deal with that so much. But I know those kind of conversations happen even when it's not based on a book, when there's just the screenplay, and if there's a writer who's very precious about something needs to be done exactly, but the director comes in with a very different vision. Yeah, I think there can be often issues with that.
And that might be why a lot of writers, directors regularly work together. Because if you can work with a certain writer, Christopher Nolan and his brother, Greta Gerwig and her husband, maybe they know they can work together. It worked last time. They weren't too precious.
Yep.
They didn't fuck around with my words too much. Let's do it again.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you have a shared vision, then why not?
Yeah. Well, you don't need to worry about that because it's just one vision. What could be shared with the separate parts of your filmmaking.
Yeah, I like bringing visions in from my actors and crew members, and definitely engaging them in that process. But no, I quite like writing my own stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I think it is to bring this all full circle, it is quite a collaborative medium, or it can be, making film. Like you mentioned, there's the visual elements, the writing elements, the sound, the music, the acting elements all come together. So it does make sense to, have it as a collaborative space.
Yeah, I don't think that's I don't think that's in conflict with it still being authored. I feel like you can have both happening at the same time, really strong collaborations, but still one person making the final artistic decisions. Because if you have 20 people on set and everyone has got an opinion and no one's going to pick which opinion we're going to go with, you're never going to have a film. But if you have both collaborative atmosphere and then one person who takes responsibility of the final piece of art which is created, then I think that's ideal.
Yeah. Great.
Nice.
So you've got a couple of screenings coming up in September, which we'll link to in the show notes, and saaralamberg.com is where they can find everything about you. But I think that about wraps it up. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us, Saara.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been wonderful.
No problem. Welcome to the Rainbow Popcorn Movie Club.
Yeah.
Yay. Where's my popcorn?
Yeah, it's on the way.
Oh, we'll send it. Yeah. The Uber Eats driver's on the way.
Excellent.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Rainbow Popcorn. All the links for everything to do with Saara Lamberg will be in the episode description, as well as links to Queer and Brief, Pride Short Film Festival, which we're currently in the midst of. You can also rate and review the podcast, subscribe on YouTube, and get in touch with us on the socials. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you.